It's time for Real Talk with Cindy Barber. Stay tuned for conversation and information from her special guest. Now sit back and relax and enjoy Real Talk with Cindy Barber.
Good evening, Brenda. Good evening, everyone. And welcome to Real Talk with Cindy. God bless you. I see you coming on. Please let me know the city, the state, or the country that you're joining us from. And I'm so excited to have you with me on tonight, for this is the day that the Lord has made. My guest is here, and I'm so excited. So please come on. Let everybody know that we're here. Please share and let others know that we are on tonight. God bless you, those that are coming on. Also, please subscribe to my YouTube channel. Please subscribe to my YouTube channel, Cindy R. Barber. Please subscribe to my YouTube channel. Also, if you'd like to be a blessing to Real Talk, and many of you have, if you'd like to be a blessing to Real Talk, my Cash App information is at the bottom of the screen, along with my PayPal information is at the bottom of the screen as well. And I want to thank so many of you that have really financially been a blessing to Real Talk. But if you'd like to tonight to give a donation, my Cash App information is at the bottom of the screen, and my PayPal information. God bless you. I see you coming on. God bless you. Also, if you are interested in advertising, you have a flyer, an event upcoming, and you'd like to advertise right here on Real Talk, please inbox me, or you can send me an email to Ms. Cindy Barber at gmail.com, Ms. Cindy Barber at gmail.com. So if you're interested, and I'm sure many of you may have some things going on at your churches or in your ministry, even your business, please inbox me, and I would love to advertise it right here on Real Talk. I'm so excited tonight to have you with me, and I see you all that are coming in, and I look forward to seeing you again tonight. My sister Stacy from East Hartford, Connecticut, welcome. Brenda, Philadelphia. James from Ghana, Africa, God bless you. Julian, hey Julian. My mother is on from Connecticut, hi Mom. And Dee Daniels is on watching on YouTube. And I want to welcome those that are on the YouTube channel. Thank you so much for being here on tonight. God bless you. 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 This is a song by Brother Earl and the Mount Unity Choir. I'm sure many of you, many churches have sung this song. Pastor Alexander, so good to see you on tonight. God bless you from Trenton, New Jersey. Hey, Bridget. God bless you from New York. Nice to see you on tonight. God bless you. Also, if you have some tech and admin skills that you'd like to work with me, please inbox me as well or send me an email, miss.cindybarber@gmail.com. Well, I'm going to bring my guest on. Hey, Brother Earl.
Hello, how are you?
I'm so good, so good. And
Wow.
I'm so honored to have you with me on tonight. So how have you been?
Look, I'm not going to complain. I tell everybody when they ask, one day at a time and one thing at a time.
That's it. That's it.
But I've been
God bless
okay.
you.
I am blessed. I am blessed. I'm blessed to be alive.
That's it. I'm telling you. And that's so true.
Yes,
Really
yes,
true.
yes.
Well, let's get started with you. You have such a resume, such a bio that's really wow. I was just amazed at so many things that you have done. God has really, really been good to you. So let's get started with, what age did you begin singing?
Oh my God, I don't even know. I would say probably as early as 4 or 5 years old, because the thing that I do remember is that my parents say I act like I was playing a piano and singing all the time. So at 6 years old, they literally bought me a grown person's piano, not a child's piano.
Really?
And at 6 years old, I sat at the piano, and all of a sudden I started playing a song, just whatever God gave me, and that's where it all started.
Wow.
Yeah.
Now, were you singing? I'm sure you were singing in the church. What age? Do you remember how young you were and what choir it was you were singing on?
Oh, I still remember probably as early as 8 or 9, because I was having anniversaries. They were calling me then Master Earl Bynum, and I was having yearly anniversaries where groups and soloists was coming to my anniversary as early as 9 or 10 years old.
Wow. That's amazing.
I still remember.
That's amazing. Do you play also?
I do play. I don't play often. I used to play all the time. I don't have to play now, thank you, Jesus. Right. But I can if I have to.
If you have to, right? Absolutely. Now let's talk about your songwriting.
Okay.
You are a phenomenal songwriter, and I know the song that we were just I was just playing. How did you begin writing that song, or what led you to do that song?
Now, I didn't particularly write that song. I got to give the credit to where credit is due. That is Pastor Cedric Rousen, great guy who has actually been an MD for me for years. And everything I do, anything I record, he has to be a part of. I just love him to be a part of.
That's amazing.
And he actually wrote that song. We were looking for a song, like an anthem type song. And he presented it. I loved it. We recorded it. And that's where we are with that song. Yeah. Yeah. And he actually wrote it in his garage one day.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
He did.
That's an amazing song.
I have been even amazed at how God has allowed so many people to sing it. I mean, some of everybody. I still remember when the National Church of God in Christ, they sang it. Dr. Judy McAllister taught it for their convocation. And I was like, wow. So it's been some of everywhere. I've had people to contact me for that song for graduations. So they've used it for graduations and so many different things. So it has really been a milestone that has been set with that song for us.
Yeah, it's amazing. It is.
Thank you.
Do you remember the first song that you wrote?
Wow, the first song, I don't, to be honest. I don't. I just started singing. I remember writing, but I don't remember the first song I actually wrote. I do remember the first song I sang out as a kid, and that was Do Lord Remember Me, if you remember that song. Do Lord, do remember me. So I started there, and I remember that still.
Wow, that is really something.
Yeah.
Now, you are the executive pastor. I mean, not executive pastor, the executive minister of music at your church. Is it Mount
Lebanon Missionary Baptist Church, affectionately known as the Mount. That's where I am, and absolutely love it. It's one church. We have 9 campuses actually, and so 9 locations, and in 2 states. So we're in North Carolina as well as Virginia, and my pastor and my leader is Bishop Kim Walter Brown and his wife, Elder Valerie Brown. So that's where I am. Yeah.
So what are your responsibilities? You're over the music for all of those churches?
Yeah, it's music creative arts. So what it is, it's choir, praise team, dance, the drama department, mime, flags, sign language. I think that's all of them. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. And now we have what we call the Mount Collective. During COVID, we put together what we call an ensemble, which is now the Mount Collective, who has also recorded now.
Wow. Yeah. That's a blessing. That's amazing. Now, how have you been able to, basically during the pandemic, as far as with your music ministry, what have you done? What have you done differently with the music, with the choirs and praise?
Yeah, well, with the choir, it was hard because you trying to figure out how, and you're missing everybody, but you still have to be safe. So we went through different protocols. One thing we did do is your song that you said you love, Psalms 117. We did a virtual recording of that, and that has played across the country. Again, at graduations, they've used that virtual. And what we did, of course, you've seen how they put the choir members or people in the box screens.
Yes.
So we did it that way. But what we did different was they were in the box screens and I was live on stage. And that's how we actually did it. So we did do that. And then we brought the choir back for our bishop's anniversary. And we spread it ourselves out and did some things there. We did a recording of Bless the Name of Jesus. We did that virtually as well. So we've been doing different things with the choir, but outside of the choir, we form what I call the ensemble, which is the collective. Oh,
okay. And that has basically worked. So now, are you back in services now, in person?
We are not yet back in. We may be going back in sometime in 2022, but I don't have the sure word on that. But right now, we're still virtual. It's the band, the singers, my pastor, and the sound technicians and all of those camera crew people.
Right. Yeah. There's a lot of churches that are not back. There's some that are, but there's a lot that's still not back.
Exactly.
And yet, yes. But whatever works,
That's right. That's right.
And I know we will never go back to the same way. Things have definitely changed. Yes. What changes do you see with the church and also with the choirs in the future? What changes do you basically see?
I'm not sure. I'm still, thinking about it, praying about it, and even asking questions of others. What do they see, and what do they see happening? How do we do what we were doing, but do it in a way where everyone is safe? And even I've been talking to some of the officers in our choir how to come up with a process. And it may be because our choir actually was as large as 130 people in the choir. Wow. So now, we may have to break them down into groups of 15 or 20s or whatever, and just switch them out every now and then. Maybe that's a possibility. But again, I have no answer. Yeah.
It's been quite a change. And I know we won't go back. We won't be the same. Yeah. But I believe, God is still in control.
But it's funny because we recorded a whole nother record right before the pandemic.
Really?
So I'm looking forward to the possibility of at least releasing that or some of that to, the world. It's some great music. If you liked 117, you should hear the one we have for Psalms 103. So
really? Oh my God.
I'm excited about it. About it.
Wow. That's phenomenal. That's
hey,
so
Gerald
cool.
Wesson. Oh my God. My brother. Wow. From a long time I've been knowing him.
Yeah, from Philadelphia.
Yeah.
Yes. Now in 2010, Mount Unity Choir, you guys were nominated for 2 Stella Awards for the project Open My Heart.
Now that actually was not the Mount. That was me. Without the choir. Yeah. That was Earl Bynum, my solo project. And I had a group that I formed in college along with Cedric Meekins called As We Are. So it was Earl Bynum and As We Are. And that project, Open My Heart, My Changes Come, was nominated for 2 Stellas in 2010. Yes.
Wow. That was great. And also, I know you've gotten a lot of awards too.
God has been faithful. Yes, he has.
He has. And you have produced. Now, is this the only choir that you have produced?
It's the only choir, yes. I've done some solo artists, but it's been the only choir, yes. Yes. And I took on that entire project. And actually, that got going because my pastor had a vision to have a record. It wasn't about, radio and all of that at that time. It was like he just wanted a record for the church. Right. And so after speaking with me about it, he said, "Do you think we could do it?" And I said, "Yeah, we could do it." Wow. And the crazy part is I wasn't even putting myself in the position to produce the record itself. I had met with Kevin Bond, great producer. I had also met with what is her name? I see it. LaJune Thompson's husband, Cedric Thompson, and a few others to produce it. And then one day, I never forget it, Bonita Bellamy from the Bellamy Group and Ike Owens, they were like, "Earl, you can produce this. You done work with some of the best." I mean, Cedric, I work with Sanchez Holly. For those who know Sanchez Holly, he produced my Open My Heart record. So I've watched a lot of people in studio. So, they say, you can do it, you can do it. So I guess they encouraged me so that I went forth, did it. So that was my first project, and that was nominated for 3 Stella Awards. So I was like, wow, and we won one, which was Contemporary Choir of the Year. I know I'm probably ahead of you because you were getting ready to go.
It's all right. Go ahead. Okay.
Yeah. So we that it was nominated for 3 Stellas, and we won Contemporary Choir of the Year at the Stella Awards, and that was amazing. And because my pastor, I still remember him asking, "You think we can hear ourselves on radio?" I said, "Bishop, if you believe, God can do it." And God did it. All I can say is God did it, and I believe that God blew His super on our natural. I just believe that, and that's what happened. And God He put wings on this project, because even to today, people are still singing that music. And I hear quite often at least 3 songs from that record still on radio. So thank you all who are watching, who have supported. I promise I love you, and there's nothing you can do about it.
And how important is it, as far as you have a pastor that really loves music?
Yes.
How important and how influential that has been for you, working with a pastor that really loves music, to help, with your music ministry there?
When I tell you, for those who are watching, that has really been amazing, because there is no battle or fight between music and the preached word between me and him. And a lot of times I know we have as ministers of music, because I've been in positions where it's a fight, it's a battle, with the music and the pastor and the preach word and all of that. But there is no battle. And I still remember to this day, and he still works hard to do it. My pastor said he will always make sure that the relationship between the minister of music and the pastor is solid enough that nothing can separate that, because those are the 2 ministries that most people hear first in any setting, any church. It's the word and the music. So therefore, we work hard to make sure that is solid, and it has been wonderful.
That's great.
And let me say this about my pastor. I got to give him a shout out, Bishop Kim Brown. He is not one of those pastors, nothing against nobody else, that sits in the back and wait to come out to preach. He comes out doing praise and worship worship with us. He be in the middle of the floor. And that's been since day one, since I've been there. I've been there this month, make 13 years. And every service, he's worshiping with us with the music ministry. And that has been amazing to me.
And that's important.
Yeah, even to the point that if there's a shift in the music, he won't even come up to preach. He's like, let the Lord do what he's doing.
Wow.
Yeah.
What advice could you give to ministers of music about having a solid relationship or workable relationship with their pastor?
I would say sit down, first of all, have a conversation and pour out your heart. Pour out your heart. Then allow the pastor to pour out his heart, and then hear the vision of the pastor. And I think a lot of us may have problems because we don't know the vision for the house. And anything with 2 heads is a demon. So therefore, the pastor is if he's the visionary, you gotta hear his heart, find out what he wants, find out what he hears, because you gotta understand, as a minister of music, that pastor is also your covering.
That's right.
So therefore, you need to sit, listen, and then pour out your heart. He pour out his heart and come up with a plan and a purpose, and then work on saying, hey, I'm going to do this, and I'm going to do it to the glory of God, but I'm here to hold up the pastor's arms to make sure the vision in which God has given him goes forth. And I think that's important.
It is. It's very important. And it's more important for musicians and ministers of music to be a member of a church.
Yeah, I know for our church, it just so happened to be, and that's not all the time, so I don't kick against it, but all of our musicians are members of the church. And I have some who actually joined the church before they became a musician at the church, because they said they were looking for somewhere where there was solid word. So I like my MD, who's my MD now, Kendrick Morris, he was coming to the church for 3 months and none of us knew. He was sitting in the back, just coming from wherever he was serving, because he said he just needed word. He needed something. He was empty, and that drew him. And I saw him once, and I'm like, what you doing here? He said, I've been here for 3 months. I said, boy. So he's now part of the team, but he's now the music director for the music department.
Yeah. And it's so important, even those that may sit in the back, but the word sometimes will draw them as well as the music, and they want to be a part of it.
Exactly.
And sometimes that's very rare.
It is.
Most musicians don't stay too long at one church.
Yeah. That's true. That's true. Like we have musicians who they have been there longer than me. And I have been surprised because, like you say, that is not normal. So we have a sax player that's probably been there almost close to 20 years. He has to have been. Bass player, I've been there 13. He was there before me. The lead. So I'm like, wow, it must be something solid that God is giving them for them to even stay. And so it has been amazing to work with the same team all of these years.
Yes.
Because you know, when you're working with a certain team, you create something that no one can touch, because you learn each other. And I think that's important too for musicians, to learn one another, learn each other's strengths and weaknesses, and then we'll learn how to cover one another, even if there is a weakness somewhere. And I think that's important too. It
is very important. It's very, very important. And I find that with musicians, they are looking for that covering. Sometimes they may not say it. And that's why I say to pastors, if you have a musician that's not a member, talk to them to find out, are you a member somewhere? Or, you check on them and see how they're doing, because you'll be surprised. Just communication, and not just to be able to just use their gift, and nobody sits down and have a conversation with them.
Yeah. And I think it's important, if a musician come and he has a family, I think we need to look at our churches and make sure it's something for everyone. Because the thing is, most times, if you get the kids, you get the mom and dad.
That's right. That's true.
I'm here to tell you, we focused hard on our children's ministry on purpose. It was on purpose. And I tell you, once we did that, you saw droves of people come, because the children, I still remember kids will leave children's church going home crying. They didn't want to leave. But God knows what you need and when you need it and how you need it. So I say always, and every church is different. So I don't ever tell a church, do what we're doing. No, do what's right for you, because every house is different, but find out what works for you and be the best you that you can be at your gift.
That's so true. That's very true. But find out what works for you. Because there are some churches that's trying to be like other churches, but that doesn't work with them.
Right. And none of us are in competition with each other. If we understand that, the only thing we in competition with is beating the devil down. All right.
That's it.
That's it. That's right. Other than that, we're not in competition. And it doesn't matter if you have 100 people in your choir or 10 people in your choir. We're all here doing the same thing. We are on vacation on earth trying to go home to heaven.
That's it.
And if we keep that in mind and support one another, and just push one another, the world would be a better place. The church should be the healing place, not the hurting place.
Right. Absolutely.
So
Absolutely.
yeah.
Because you have people that are coming, and especially like musicians, choir
Yeah.
members that are coming that's looking for that healing.
Yeah.
They're not looking for anything else.
Right. And some people have been hurt, and
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
they're looking for that healing place. They're looking to be loved. A lot of times we fail to love people right. We love people for their gift, but not for who they are.
Right.
And I think that's a problem that we have a lot of times. Right. I don't want you to love the gift. I want you to love me, because if you love me enough, I'll give the gift.
Right. That's true.
Yeah.
Someone is saying, Prophet Stacy Bent, so true. Push each other. Church should be healing place, not hurting place.
Yeah, we have a saying at the Mount, and our saying is, church is supposed to change lives.
Wow.
So if you're not changing lives, then you should not be the church, because church supposed to change lives.
Wow. And that's so true. Supposed to.
Yeah.
It is. It's true. Now, the choir in 2014, they received 3 stellar nominations for Bless the Name of the Lord.
Yes. Yes.
Okay.
Bless the name of the Lord. Some people said bless the name of the Lord. Some people said bless the name of Jesus. For those who don't know what it is, it's, oh, bless the name of Jesus, oh my soul. Yes. Bless the name of the Lord. So yeah, that was 3 nominations for that. And I'm telling you again, God blessed. We were in categories with Bishop Paul Morton and Full Gospel, Hezekiah Walker and Love Fellowship, and John P. Key. I still remember to this day, but God, it is what it is. And it's amazing, as a little boy coming up, I've watched a lot of people that I'm now in fellowship every now and then with. So it's amazing. And I'm still yet honored, because I know it was only God. It's not me. It's God within me. Right. That knew that he could trust me enough to do what he's called me to do. And you want to be in a place where God can trust you with what he gives you.
That's right. Yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah.
That is a blessing. So I know you guys were so excited, the choir.
Yeah. And let me say this. I'm going to just throw this in. I ain't trying to take over. No, but if you're going to be a minister, a music, or a worship leader, you got to love people to do this. If you don't love people and don't want to be bothered, you're in the wrong place.
That's the truth.
It's like the usher who's a usher but mean every Sunday. Come on
every
now.
Sunday.
you got to be on your feet, but your feet hurt. Come on now. So you angry. I'm sorry.
That's very true. No, you're absolutely right.
Yeah.
Very true. Now, let's talk about the industry.
Okay.
I know you're very much involved in the industry, the music industry. And you're like a quiet storm, a quiet person that, we don't hear much about, but yet you're doing so much and you're known all over the world.
Wow.
So let's begin to talk about the music industry.
Okay.
What are some of the keys to doing a project that would get the attention of radio? Because also you are on the radio, correct?
Yes, I've been in radio for over 18 years now. I have my own show. It's a syndicated radio show. So I love it. I love what I do.
Yes. Now, where is that station out of?
What it is, I'm a part of what they call Rejoice Musical Soul Food. And a lot of people say, I ask them, have you heard of Rejoice Musical Soul Food? Is it no? But they may have heard of Radio 1 and, different ones. Well, Rejoice Musical Soul Food is African-American owned as well. It was actually owned by NBC Disney. For those who don't know, they started a gospel network, and a few years after doing it, they figured they didn't want to do it any longer, so they were going to get rid of it. And a man by the name of Mike Chandler, if you don't know him, look him up. And his wife is April Washington Chandler.
Yes.
Great people. He found some investors and bought it from NBC Disney. And continued with the Musical Soul Food Network. And it has probably at least 130 stations that carry some format of a show. So we have On Stage with Earl Bynum, which is my show, the Cedric Bailey Show, Mike in the Morning, the Dorinda Clark Cole Show, Tracy Morgan Show. I mean, some amazing, even J.J. Harrison and Jacqueline Carr Show has been there. So the Dottie People Show, the Melvin Williams Show. So all of them are there. And so I'm a part of that. And so it's a syndicated show. And my show is geared towards helping independent artists. That's the whole platform of my weekend show. And so it's a show where I interview the artists and play their music so our listeners can find out who those independent artists are, because my heart goes out to independent artists because so often they don't get spins or radio play and all of that. So Mike was kind enough to allow us to have a platform only for independent artists, and that's what that is for.
That is amazing. I met Mike Chandler a few years ago when I had my group, and he brought us into Virginia Beach. And at that time, he was with another radio station.
Okay.
And we did a concert and everything. So I have still stayed in touch with him.
That's good.
He's coming on here too.
Good. I'm telling you, his brain, what he has. A lot of people don't know Mike Chandler at, I want to say 19 years old. His first job out of college, because he's an engineer, was with NASA. NASA hired him at 19. He's an amazing guy. And even the towers that we have, he's an engineer by trade. So for the network, he built the tower himself. And a lot of people don't know that. He's amazing.
No.
Yeah.
Yeah, he really is amazing. He's such a nice person.
Yes.
I got in touch with him I guess a few months ago, and I said, Mike, do you remember me? He said, of course I remember you.
Awesome.
At that time, he wasn't where he is now.
Okay.
At another station, and I remember because he needed a group to come in from out of state.
Right.
And, so I brought my group there, and it was great. You know, we did interviews, and he took us around, and it was really nice. Mike is a nice guy.
Wow. And I want y'all to follow my show now. I come on every Saturday if you're out there. I'm going to tell it now while we're talking about it. I come on every Saturday for 2 hours, 10 a.m. To 12 noon Eastern Standard Time. And you can go to www.musical, musical, soul food, one word, musicalsoulfood.com. You can also download the Musical Soul Food app, as we're on there, and we're on demand. The show is on demand as well. And you can also go to what is it? It's a new podcast, blackpodcast.com. Blackpodcast.com, which was launched by Mike Chandler.
Really?
Yeah, it's amazing. So if you have a podcast as yourself, Miss Cindy, talk to him because he's putting people on. I'm telling you, it's amazing. You got people from Michelle Obama to some of everybody on the podcast.
Wow. Yeah. I certainly will talk to him because I've been working on that podcast. That's wonderful.
Yeah.
It's really good.
And if you're an artist, if you're an independent artist out there, you need to get me your stuff. Talk to Miss Cindy. She know how to get in touch with me.
Yes. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, you are great. And just really working with others. Because there's some people, because I know in some of the platforms, they are talking to independent indie artists and trying to help them. But to be able to put, their things on the radio has been an amazing event. How should they do as far as if they want to put what type of, the product, how should it look how should it sound in order for you to be able to play it?
Well, I think if you're deciding to do something with radio, find out what radio is looking for. I think that's the first thing. Find out the length of the song should be for radio. They're not going to play a 6-minute song like they used to do with James Cleveland and all of them back in the day. They would play a song for 10 minutes, but because it's limited time. And I try to tell people within a 24-hour period, you only have about 40 slots to play music because you have your commercials. You have so much going on. So you got to think about it. If it's 40 slots to play music and you approach them with something to play as an independent artist, you got to understand that 20 spots are already gone. What do I mean? Because you got Mary, Mary, and Mary. Those 3 spots, okay? You got CeCe Winans, BB Winans, and the Winans. That's 6 gone. You got Fred Hammond, okay? You got Marvin Sapp. You just got certain people that's going to be there. Kurt Franklin and the family. Kurt Franklin and whoever else he's with. That's 11 gone. Jacqueline Carr probably got 2 spots. Jonathan Nelson got 1. His brother got 1. So when you look at it like that, you got to make sure that your product sounds just as good as, not that you're competing with, but you have to make sure your product is good. So I would suggest once you do something, before you go too far, send it to somebody like a Miss Cindy or somebody in radio and let them listen to it first before you do the final steps, because they could give you some pointers, especially if you can find some program directors in your area. I would say sit down and let them hear it first before you put it out, because it costs and it's expensive to do this thing. And especially when it's not a big return anymore.
That's right. It is, because there's a big difference with being on a major record label, which, a lot of people are not anymore.
Exactly.
I had Milton Bingham on, and he shared about they with Savoy Records.
Yeah,
and he was saying they were doing like 50 something records. I think he said a week.
Man.
And I just told him, he said he doesn't even know how they did it, but they did it. About 57 records a week.
Wow.
And I just, oh my gosh.
Yeah.
But back then, Savoy, that was totally different.
Savoy was major back then. You heard, a lot of people were on Savoy. That was major. You would go to conferences and Savoy would have a whole booth. They took up the whole corner.
They did.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Someone's asked me for my email information is on the screen. My email information is at the bottom of the screen.
Yeah.
So what about the packaging? How it should look in order to get your attention?
Well, because everything is now digital, more, you don't have to worry about what we used to have to worry about when we would put those packages together and mail them and all of that. Yeah. Some people still accept those, but I think it's important, even though we don't do that anymore, that even your digital stuff looks good. Yes. You need a cover still, because whatever cover you choose is going to be on your digital platforms like your Apple Music, your Spotify, and all of those places. So you still got to have a good cover. It can't be with your phone. You're standing in your kitchen and your sink is behind you. You got to do a professional picture. Get a makeup artist to come in, do a photo shoot, and have someone who's skilled in that, because the other thing is we got to learn as independent artists is to build a team around us. And I always said, build a team that believe in you as much as you believe in yourself. Okay. Because if you have people with you and attached to you that don't believe in what you're doing, it's like having no team at all. It's no I in team, but you still need a team. So you need someone who is around you that believe in what you're doing, and get those. And I'm not talking about your aunt and your uncle. All of them gonna tell us we sound good. We need people who gonna tell us the truth. Look, that don't look good. You shouldn't wear that. All of that, and get those people who specialize in that. And I tell people, if you can't afford it, because a lot of times you can't afford to pay people, but you can find interns who are in college, who are designers, who need that work. You can find photographers who are in school, who are designers. They may be juniors or freshmen or seniors who need those hours. I'm telling you, they will intern that work. Find those folk, build your team, and then from there, as you be creative, continue to build your team.
Right.
That's important.
Absolutely. Continue to build your team. Because it is important to have people work with you that believe in you.
Yes.
Because if they don't, they're not going to push you.
They're not going to push you. They're not going to push you. And let them understand what your dream is and what your vision is, and explain it to people. I think a lot of times we break down, and that's even with friendship, partnership. And I tell everybody, anything ending in ship that's not moving, you're on the wrong one. Partnership, friendship, relationship. If you're the only one giving and moving from dock, then you're on the wrong one, and you need to let that go and not even stress about it. No stress, no strain, no struggle. Let it go, move on, because if that ship is not moving, partnerships move, friendships move, relationships move. And if you're in a place where someone is not moving, I promise you that's not the person for you.
Wow. This is so good. I hope they're listening. Well, it's going to be on YouTube and on Facebook. They can go back and listen to it even all over again. What have you basically learned from the music industry that have helped to get you to where you are now? What have you learned?
Trust God. When you can't trust nobody, trust God. When you pray and let God, I think it's important to have a prayer life.
Oh yeah.
Because I believe God will lead you wrong. And sometimes, some people say, I got a feeling something ain't right. It's that gut feeling. When you feel that it ain't right, most times it's not right.
Yes.
And if that is the case, then let it go, move on. Because I promise you, there's someone out there who believe in what you're doing.
Yes.
And you don't have to sell your soul or your body.
Mm-hmm.
There is
That's
someone
right.
who believe in you. So find the person that believe in you. Find the one, Peggy Wilkins. Oh my God, that believe in you and move forth. That's what I say. So I've learned, when you come in contact with someone, by the way, and they say they can do A, B, and C, I would suggest find out who they've done A, B, and C for.
That's
too.
it.
And ask those persons, what did they do? How was the relationship? How did it work? Did they do what they said they were going to do? Now, and this is the other thing. Understand, finding a radio person, because you asked about that. If you need a radio rep for radio, all right, say you are a contemporary group and you need a radio person. So you find a radio person, but they work quartets. You wrong person.
Right.
They work quartets. They don't work contemporary. There is a difference. Now, there are some stations who play quartet, but if that's what they specify in, you got to find someone that specify in what you do, because you're stifling your vision when you connect with the wrong person. It will take longer, as it already takes long.
Right.
It's not overnight. I tell people it is not overnight, because someone asked me one day, when do you know that you're there, or when do you stop working? I say, you never stop working. You never stop. You never stop. You keep working. You keep working. And I remember one time my son said, "Pops, you up? And it's like midnight. It's midnight and you still working on stuff on the platforms on social media." I said, yeah, it's midnight here, but it's 6 a.m. somewhere else.
Somewhere else.
Okay.
That's right.
Or it's 9 on the West Coast. So my mind works like that, because when we're sleeping, somebody else is moving.
That's right.
So you got to always move.
Right. You really do.
Yeah.
Now, the radio station where you're on, is it internationally at other countries?
That people can connect from other countries, but we don't have a tower per se there.
Oh, okay.
So I have people who will email me and say, I'm listening from I got it from Denmark. Esther from Denmark often listens to us, so I got to say hello to Esther, because she'll email me and say, I'm listening from Denmark. Okay. So Denmark, we get Ghana, Africa, people we listening. So you can listen, again by going to the website. So that's how they listen.
The website. Okay.
Yeah.
Very good. Now, also, you've been an active member of the GMWA.
Yes.
So do you still work with them?
I still work with GMWA. My pastor taught me a long time. You dance with the girl that brought you to the dance. And GMWA got me to the dance. I was in the announcer's room. I did the choir, the mass choir. I remember still directing the mass choir. There was a lady by the name, she's from my hometown or my area, named Peggy Britt. And she wrote much music for GMWA, and I directed for her doing the mass choir. I've also taught in the youth choir with Craig Hayes. So thank you to Craig Hayes for that. Yeah. And I've been a part of it for so long with the Announcers Guild. It used to be called the GAG, Gospel Announcers Guild. Yeah. And so thank you to, I will never forget Bishop Al Hobbs. Such an amazing guy. Sam Williams, Bishop Sam Williams as well. Yes. And now we have, of course, Dennis Cole. So can't forget him and Chris Squire and all of them. Just great people. So to be able to connect with those people in the room, and I got to give a shout out to my girl, Sheila Bell from the Bell Report, because Sheila Bell is the one that introduced me to the room. So thank you to Sheila Bell. Yeah. Years ago to the announcer's room. So
I remember her. Oh, wow.
Yeah.
That's phenomenal.
Yeah.
Now, also, are you still an instructor for the Mount Lebanon Christian Academy?
Well, because times change, we restructured our academy. We
Okay.
did away with the academy. The academy was top notch. It was grades, I want to say first through fourth or fifth grade. And we restructured. And when remember I said something about how we revamped our children's ministry.
Yes.
When we did that, we did away with the academy and restructured our children's ministry. And that took that. So no, I don't do that any longer because we don't have the academy, because the children's ministry is pretty strong.
Right.
Even during COVID, it's pretty strong.
Yeah. Yeah. Wow.
Oh, yeah.
What's next for Earl Bynum?
Well, I don't know if you know, but I have my own label.
I didn't know.
Yeah, and it's called El Rey Entertainment, LRAE. Now, people ask me, how did you come up with El Rey? Hoppo, Oprah, Hoppo. It's just turned backwards.
Turned backwards, right.
Earl turned backwards. Yeah. So that's all that is. And so it's El Rey Entertainment. I have myself. I'm an artist on it, of course. My son, which is Earl Bynum. You can look up his music, ASAUNBYNUM. He has 3 songs out there. One he did was called Amazed. He went through a bad divorce. And my grandson has autism. So he wrote that song, Amazed, about how amazing God is through those struggles. And then he has a remake of Days of Elijah that he did. And his last song that's currently on radio is called Heart Cry. He was literally sitting in the studio and they were praying and the musician was playing. And as the musician was playing a tune, God was downloading lyrics to him to that particular tune, and that's how Heart Cry came about. So definitely check him out. Again, Earl Bynum. Then I have a CCM artist on my label. His name is Andrew Kurtz. He's out of Raleigh, North Carolina. Great CCM artist doing great things. Look him up as well. But it's El Rey Entertainment. You can go to our website, www.elreyentertainment.com. And we're available for whatever you're having. Even you're having a backyard winter barbecue, we'll come for that too.
That's amazing.
We are available.
How long have you had this record label?
I started it in 2017. And I started it because my son came to me and said, Pops, I want to go ahead and sing. So I said, what better way to start something that could create legacy as well? And we have to learn to create legacy for our families. And you want something to live even after you're gone.
That's
and
true.
I think that's important. So that was the whole purpose behind it. And, you know, being in the music industry, such as yourself, and knowing so much, you know, you're like, okay, if you do your own thing, you can kind of protect what's around you as much as you possibly can. And that way it could be your vision, however you want it to go. So that was important to me.
Wow, that is amazing. Because I didn't know that you had your own record label, but that's really amazing.
Yeah.
And that's important, you know, like you said, creating legacy.
Right. And I work with Revival Music Company. I got to give them a shout out, Terrence Howell. He's amazing. And it's funny because Terrence Howell is the CEO of Revival Music Company, which is a marketing digital radio company that gets you out there. And
really,
he has done remarkable work. Dante Bowe, if you know of him, that's part of his work. Dante is nominated for some Grammys as well now. And so he's done some of them and quite a few other artists. And he took a song from my current record, literally during COVID in 2020. He heard it and he said, Earl, you need to put this on radio. My daughter is walking around and she like singing this song, safe in his arms, safe in. So he put it out and it made, it got on Billboard, went up to number 21 on Billboard. So I'm like, wow. So, you know, and I said that to say, because Terrence, it's so funny because he's the CEO of his company and we're working together now, but I used to babysit him when he was a child.
Really?
So it's funny how God will bring you back together. And he often tells people, I used to be the director of choir at Old Dominion University as well. So people don't know that, as well as Norfolk State University. I was over the gospel choir. And so back then, he was a junior and senior in high school, and I went and grabbed him to play drums for me. So we would drive an hour to Old Dominion University throughout weekday to have rehearsal and be on the road weekend. And his mom just trusted me with him. And it was so many other young people I literally grabbed from my high school because I wanted them to experience what it would be like in college life. So it was about 5 of them. And I took them and about one soprano, an alto, 2 tenors, and him, and allowed them to experience what it would be like. So I still remember that, and they call me to this day, and like they will never forget those moments. So God is good. And my drummer and that I brought in and keyboard player, they found their wives right there. So it's like they excited.
Yeah, I'm sure. Wow, that's amazing.
Yeah.
You have an amazing testimony and what you're doing to help others. God has really blessed you.
Thank you. And then I go back, like my group As We Are, I had a drummer. A lot of people know him as Liddell Abrams. For those who don't know, he's out of Michigan, and he has played for the likes of from Janet Jackson to CeCe Winans. He's now the drummer for Charlie Wilson. So he was a part of my group as well. An amazing drummer. Yeah.
Wow. Yeah. That's great. And Sandra Cruz.
Oh, someone's leader. Yes.
I forgot about that.
Thank you, Sandra. Thank you so much. Yeah. Worship leader at the Hampton University Ministers Conference. I absolutely miss it. We haven't done it in 2 years, of course, but it's an amazing conference. So thank you for reminding us of that. And if you have not, as a musician or a singer, experienced the Hampton University Ministers Conference, if it ever come back, just try. It's an amazing, amazing conference. I'm telling you. Yeah,
it really is. Yeah. And that's where I forget Alicia Peterson.
Yes. And Michael, come on. All right. Wow.
I interviewed her too a few months back.
Oh, yes. I
heard her when I first heard her sing. It was there.
She is an amazing singer.
She really is. An amazing person too.
Yes.
She's a nice person. But Earl, I want to thank you so much for being a part of Real Talk.
Oh, the time is up. Oh my God. I've had a good time.
I know.
No, man. Listen, and you all that's watching, thank y'all for following Miss Cindy and coming up here and being a part of this. We're excited to have you. Yeah. Awesome.
Yes. I'm very excited that they have James Early. He says he misses the Hamptons conference. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. A lot of people have gone there. Are they having it in 2022?
I have not heard. I'm hoping that they are, but haven't heard. So don't know. Don't know. Right. Now, I do want to talk about, if it's independent artists out there real quick. I have a conference called the IGAA. It's Independent Gospel Artists Alliance. You can go to www.gospelalliance.com. Philip Carter, I love the Lord. I love the Lord. He and I started this 12 years ago. So we're either going into 12 or going into our 13th year. It's the second week of July. It's going to be at my church, which is the Mount in Chesapeake, Virginia. If you haven't been this way, come on. We got the beach and the best seafood as well. All right. So come on this way. But it's the second week. Look it up, www.indiegospelalliance.com. It's a platform, small platform for independent artists who are trying to get to that next step. We bring some of the best in the music industry, from distributors to everything, to help you and assist you to get to that next place. So look it up. And if you have recorded a record, I want to say this, and you released it between January 1, 2020, January 1, 2021 and December 31st, 2021. On January 1st, 2022, we will open up for you to submit to be nominated for the IGAA Music Awards. So you want to check that out. It's amazing. It's amazing. Yes.
And the website again is
www.indiegospelalliance.com.
Yes.
Definitely.
If anyone needs that, again, I have the information.
Yeah.
Inbox me.
And also check out the GIN, the Gospel Industry Network. I got to talk about, I'm involved in all of them. The GIN, Gospel Industry Network. I'm the senior vice president of that organization. And you have some of everybody from Sheila Bell, Bishop Kenneth Wells is our founder, out of Los Angeles, California. You have Vicky Latiyad, who started Gospel Centric with Kurt Franklin and all of them. All of them are part of this. It's called the GIN, Gospel Industry Network. So look that up too. Great organization to be a part of. We have about 40 of those GIN organizations across the country, including London, England.
Really?
Yeah. So hit me up, Miss Cindy. We'll talk more about that.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah, definitely.
This was great, Earl.
Yeah,
You're just a wealth of knowledge.
Wow. And follow me. I don't know if I told y'all. I'm on Twitter, Earl Bynum. I want to see some of y'all do it tonight. Twitter. I need to build that Twitter page now. Come on.
Me too. Earl. I'm on Twitter as well.
Yeah, some people say, you're on Twitter? Yeah, I'm on Twitter. So it's Earl Bynum, EarlBynum on Twitter. Instagram, Earl Bynum as well. Facebook, I got 2 pages, a public page that's Earl Bynum. But go to my artist page and follow that. That's Earl Bynum Music. Earl Bynum Music. And my YouTube page, I need to build it. So I need y'all to just go on and subscribe, okay? If you subscribe, I'll put more stuff there. Ain't nobody subscribing, so I ain't putting it there. Earl Bynum Music. Just go to Earl Bynum. Please do that. I really want y'all to follow. And I promise you, I'm going to pick one person. I really am. Whoever follows me from this show and you inbox me and I see that you follow me, I'm going to pick one person. And I promise you, I'm going to send you a Cash App tonight. So I'm going to go through, once I get off, I'm going to go through my whole, and that's the Instagram one. And I'm going to send someone a Cash App tonight. And if you don't have, some people say, well, I don't have Instagram. Well, go and subscribe to my Earl Bynum Music page. If you do that and you say in the inbox that you heard it here, I'm going to send you a Cash App. All right. Don't be the same person that be on both now. All right.
One or the other. Right. Can't do both.
Yeah.
One or the other.
Yeah.
That's nice, Earl.
Yeah.
Really
it's good to bless people.
It
it's good to be kind, and during this season, this holiday season, we need to be kind because there are hurting people out there.
There are.
Yeah.
Very much so. And speaking of that too, my show on this coming Thursday, I have a psychotherapist as well as a chaplain.
Wow.
They're going to talk about grief
and
loss, and they're going to talk about mental illness and depression. So don't miss that this coming Thursday. It's going to be a special night because normally just on Mondays is this coming Thursday at 8:00. So I'm asking everyone to really watch that. Those of you that are dealing with grief, or people that are dealing with grief or depression and loss and mental illness, please watch that show on this coming Thursday. You won't be sorry, and you'll be blessed. I
have to give a shout out to my mom and dad, Earl Bynum Sr. and Geneva Bynum in Franklin, Virginia. Thank you so much. They're going to get me because I forgot to tell them I'm going to be on. They'll go back and watch it. And I got to give a shout out to my executive administrator who has been with me for 17, 18, 19 years now,
Really?
Kenneth Craig Worldwide out of Dallas, Texas. Thank you so much for all that you do, sir, as well as Norris Sherman, who's my road manager.
Wow. You have a great team that's working with you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Really do.
It's still hard though. Don't think it's not hard. It's hard. And you still, even though you have a team, don't forget, you still got to work yourself. You got to do the work. You got to do the work because there's no need having a team and you not doing some of the work. And bless them sometime too now. Because you can keep them around when you bless them.
That's right.
And it's not always money. Sometimes it's about being concerned about them and their family too. You know? That's
right.
important.
Absolutely.
That's important.
Well, it's the same way when you were talking about just like with the musicians we were saying in the church. Be concerned about them. They have kids, be concerned about them. Talk to them, say something to them, pastors.
Exactly. And if you see these posters behind me, y'all, I got a few you can see, but this is a room full of posters and plaques and awards. And these posters are posters with me having 22 world tours. So thank you, Jesus, for that. And we would have been going in 2020, but because of COVID, I'm looking to do December 2022. And by the way, if you're an artist out there, you have a group. I am also a booking agent for European tours, and I've been doing that for over 12 years.
Really?
Yeah, I send artists. I've sent the Chicago Mass Choir, Kathy Taylor. I've sent her G.I. God's Image, Monica Lisa Stevenson, and quite a few others. Yes.
Wow, Earl. You're just, I just don't know what to say.
Well, I'm trying. When God come get me, I hope he said, well done, because I'm empty.
That's it. That's right. When you're utilizing your skills to help others.
Yeah.
You
And
know,
I love it. I'm telling you, people ask me all the time, what is your biggest joy? Seeing other people's dreams come to life, and that I could assist them in doing it. And I ain't got to brag about it. I just like being a part of it.
Right, exactly. You don't have to brag.
Yeah.
No, absolutely not.
Yeah.
But Earl, I want to thank you so much for being a part on tonight. I really appreciate this.
No, I wanted to hear you on the organ or something. 'Cause I know you playing all that. See, I've been seeing that picture on your. I know we got to go, but I see that. I said, God, she play. I love women who can play. So I know I want to hear you. I want to hear you in your element.
Yeah,
I'm waiting.
I'm going. I'm in 2022. I'm going to do something.
Okay, good. I'm looking forward to it, because I'm gonna need to interview you. Come on now.
Yeah, that would be nice too.
Okay,
we'll be talking.
Let's do it.
You have blessed me tonight. I'm telling you.
Thank you. I love you guys.
Be a blessing to someone else, and God blesses you.
Amen. Thank you, James Early. Tamika Love, thank you.
And that's so true.
I'm gonna stop talking, because I know you got to close. Let me stop talking.
No, it's okay. It's okay. I appreciate all that you are instilling in everybody. Oh my goodness.
Got you. She can play an organ. I know it. I knew it.
Play for her church.
Okay. Awesome.
Yes. God has been good. He's been good.
And please go get my music, y'all. Just go. You may be a choir person, but go and look for Earl Bynum. I'm talking about Earl Bynum, not Earl Bynum and the Mount. They are two different ones. So look for Earl Bynum. Earl Bynum. This song is for you. Look for that record, and any song you like, stream, download, or purchase. It doesn't matter to me, but do that for me, you guys.
Yes.
Thank you.
Yes. Support people.
Yeah.
Those that are doing something, really support them. Because I think a lot of times we forget about that. And now that you don't have albums and, CDs are almost gone, and some people are saying they don't know how to download. But ask somebody, ask your grandchildren, ask a neighbor, anybody young or something, ask them how to download. Because that's something new that some of the people really don't know how to really do.
Now, what city are you in, Miss Cindy?
I'm in New Jersey.
You are in New Jersey. Okay. Mm-hmm. Now, all of y'all out there that's up here, I know y'all go to churches. I'm available. I want to come. I do workshops. I do lectures. I do panels. I do concerts, whatever. And I ain't expensive now. I ain't like, come on. I'm gonna help you. You work with me, and I'm gonna work with you. Amen.
Yes, that's great. Wow. Well, I have something in mind for you next year. We'll talk.
Oh, I'm ready. You heard her, God. You heard her.
That's right.
Amen.
Yes, this has been a phenomenal night. And I want to thank everyone that has watched, those that are on YouTube, and those that will watch the replay. We want to thank you for those that will watch the replay. Please share and let other people watch this segment. It was really, really good. Yeah. It was very, very good and informative. And please join me on this Thursday night. Please join me. You will not be sorry. I have two clinicians that will be discussing grief, loss, and mental illness and depression, because depression is real. Even though you're a Christian, you still can become depressed. So I want to say good night to everyone, and good night to you, Earl.
Good night. Bless you. Thank you. Love you to life.
Yes, love you too. So you hold on. And I'm just going to say goodnight again to everyone. God bless you.
Thank you so very much for tuning in to Real Talk with Cindy Barber. We hope you have been informed and inspired by the conversation on this evening. You can contact Cindy Barber on Instagram at CindyRBarber04. You can email her at ms.cindybarber@gmail.com or the YouTube channel at Cindy R. Barber. You can also contact Cindy about having your event advertised on Real Talk with Cindy Barber. Cindy looks forward to you joining her next week for another informative conversation right here on Real Talk with Cindy Barber. Until then, have a great evening.